Let's talk Uncommon Fossil. And Pokemon has announced updates coming to Pokemon TCG Live on Tuesday, November 5th. The big thing, as expected, it is to add support for Surging Sparks expansion. That's what always happens. So that's as expected. A couple other things. There's like 3 cards being fixed. They are fixing the camera issue on Max, so that's good. But we know there's a lot of issues in live. They're not they need to be doing a lot more than like 4 bug fixes per update. So that's the state of live. It's not great, and they're not fixing things fast enough. So that's unfortunate. That continues. Then 2 other things. One, which is a positive but very underwhelming, the match timer is being reduced from 25 to 20 minutes. That's good because the games can take too long. I do think the bigger issue, it very rarely goes that my opponent uses up 20 minutes, though. Obviously in a control type setting, having a little bit quicker timer, if you're trying to deck people out, having a match timer a little shorter is a plus as well. But for the most part, look, I think games are long, but it's really the action timer is the issue, and I think there needs to be some adjustment to that. They're not addressing that, so that's certainly the harder issue. But then the last item, which I want to talk about, which is the most curious, it says economy/system updates, more info coming soon. So I don't know what that's going to be at all. Very curious about that. So I want to talk about that in a minute. There's, I think, 3 different directions this could go in. I don't know which way it will go, and obviously what will be. First, it could make the in-game economy a little bit harder for people. Look, I think that in some ways would be the most fair and balanced thing, although no one's going to like it, including myself. Look, right now in live, as a budget player, meaning you pay little or no money, like I don't pay any money to buy pack codes at all. I have access to every deck that I want to play in standard format. I can access pretty much all the cards. I don't know if I could get every card. It would get a little expensive, but a lot of the cards are essential. You don't need to play every card, even to play a wide variety of decks. So it's great for budget players. It is well beyond any other game that I play as a budget player. You usually are more limited your access to top decks. You can get maybe a few decks, but you can't get all the decks. And then also, as a budget player, you usually often have to do a fair amount of grinding and stuff. You really don't have to do that in life either, because you just got to, like, within 2 games a day, maybe 3, you should finish the tasks, your daily challenges, and move up a tier on the battle pass, and everything's good. So it would be fair to make it tougher, but obviously live's not in a good place. All they would do is anger their user base by doing that. So I don't expect that, but we will tell. The other option, which goes in the other direction, is making it more accessible. But like I said, I think it's very accessible in live right now, so I don't know that it's necessary. The only way it becomes an issue is that magic day out there when we have access to full expanded format, both which we don't. We only have the beta format, which I actually don't mind, but it's also only casual. Someday I hope it becomes ranked, and you can challenge friends, which also means events can happen. So it'll get more expanded format. Will get a lot more use when those things happen. And to craft a lot of expanded decks, things will get more expensive. So, the in-game economy gets a little tighter at that point. But other than that, really the focus is on standard format, and I think it's very accessible now. So really the only reason to make the game the economy easier for people is just to make people happier. It kind of would be their way of saying, hey, we know the game stinks. We can't really fix it, because I don't think, like the card selectors, I don't think they know how to fix it, or at least they don't know how to fix it in a reasonable way. I think fixing means rebuilding the program from scratch, shutting things down and stuff. So, and they're not going to do that. So, right, because they know that's an issue. It's been there a long time. That's should be their number one priority. And it's been there for 2 years. I don't think they have a way to fix it. So I think so if they make the economy easier for people, it's a way of saying, sorry, the game's not good, but here's some extra rewards. Hopefully this makes you happy. So just ignore the fact the game doesn't work well. So I expect that's going to be what happens, but don't know. There is a third option, though. Like I said, could get more restrictive. I don't expect that, because all they're going to do is anger people. It could get more generous. That's probably the case. But there is a third option, and it's always a question hanging out there, is are they going to monetize the game? Now, there's a couple things. First off, this isn't the Pokemon Company. It's the Pokemon International that runs it. So I don't know if they have authority to do that. They might have to get authorization from the Pokemon Company itself to do that. So I don't know if they could, and I don't know if they want to. And I don't even know if I would like it, but in order to get Live to be a good game, it may be necessary to monetize it. I'm still very mixed about that. It depends how they monetize it. They could monetize it as long as they can get enough money from like cosmetic-ish items. As long as they don't make the card gaining too much more difficult, that'd be okay. Like I said, I think they could make it a little bit stricter, and that would be okay. Right now you have access very quickly to the new cards. If the idea of a main set comes out every 3 months, if you have to wait like 4 to 6 weeks of kind of a little bit of in-game grinding to get access to all those new decks, like you have to really finish the battle pass before you can play whatever new deck you want. That's a reasonable trade-off to me, I think. But we'll see what happens, right? Now, obviously, Pockets. Now, I think the thing, if they were to monetize, you let me know in the comments, do you think it would be good? If monetizing Live lets them fix Live, would you want to see that? That's because I'm mixed of my opinions about it. So interested in what you think about it. But also, so the question becomes, why it would be tough to do now. First, Pockets just dropped. I don't know. I assume the user base for Live has dropped in the short term because people are trying out Pocket. I know I've been doing that. I finished the Battle Pass already. I haven't really been finding decks I like in Live, so I've just been basically playing Pocket, ignoring Live. But when the new set drops, I'm going to go back to Live again and play a mix of Pocket and Live. And then long term, I will see the state of both games, both for how functional the games are, what I'm enjoying, and all that, and how the in-game economies are. So Pocket's just dropped. It's obviously significantly monetized. Is this, it would seem kind of odd that Live now monetizes, especially because Pocket, well, I think it could get improvement. It's obviously, it's a good game. Pocket's better now after just 1 month in beta and in, less than a week of actually being released. It's better than Pocket is. I mean, the Live is now after having been in beta for an extended amount of time, and I think out of beta, like 2 years. So it would be a bad look to monetize because it could be like Pocket's good and monetize. Live, you're bad. You shouldn't monetize. Plus, I think for sorry about this. For Live to monetize, they really have to get the game better. So they might be in an awkward situation. Like if they want to monetize Live, and maybe that was their plan, they would kind of get it out, work out the bugs for like a year, and then the game would be in a good place, and they could ask people to pay, and people go, okay, that's all right. The problem is they haven't gotten Live fixed, and until Live can get fixed, you're really just going to anger people if you ask them for money. But until the game it's bringing in money, they might not feel like they can invest the resources to upgrade Live. They might be in a bit of an awkward situation. So I don't know what's going to happen with this update. It says information coming soon. I don't know if it's going to come out on the Tuesday when the update comes out. I don't know if it's going to come out, like, say, on the Thursday when Surging Sparks drops. And that's probably the day that the economy would reset. Don't know. So, are they going to drop? I'm going to keep my eyes out both on the forums, which may be where it drops, or the website. Those are the likely places. Although they're starting to do other social media places for information as well. So, what's going to happen? Don't know. Very curious about it. You can let me know your thoughts. What you think is likely to happen? Do you think it's actually going to be anything important? And do you think that monetizing Live would be good or not? Again, I think they're probably, of the three options, making the economy more restrictive, making the economy more accessible, or having an in-game currency for actual money. I think they're going to make the game more easily accessible to people. I just don't think it's all that necessary. They really need to make the game better. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, and take care, have fun, and play some Pokemon.